What's up, you guys? This is Robert at Shy Bears Plus on the YouTube channel, Shy Bears Plus. And this is.
I'm Jeff with Shy Bears Plus, just a fan talking football. You can follow me at Twitter at +_shy.
Thank you very much, Chef. Yes, this is the YouTube channel at Shy Bears Plus. I'm on Twitter at Shy Bears Plus, also on Instagram, Shy Bears Plus. Give me a follow. Get on this video, smash the like, share it, show all your friends. If you're having a good time, might as well, pass the good times along. But today's video, we would like to talk about roster cuts for the Chicago Bears 2018 as we're heading into Week 1 and practice squad additions. First, we're going to start off with some notable cuts. Cut number 1, Doring Grant was a notable for us. Jeff, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Don't mean to put you on the spot. Personally, I know that I watch all the games and I saw a kid flashing. He had 2 picks. He had a pick 6. He had pretty good technique. He had a PI, and he did an arm bar against somebody, but he was trying to get in position. I felt like he was more feeling out for the guy than really trying to hold back or restrict the wide receiver. So I thought he played really well, and I thought that he should be our CB3 as the backup to both outside positions. Personally, I thought he played well enough. What do you think, kid?
Yeah,
Agree?
definitely a surprise there with the cut in my eyes. Here's a guy that kind of bounced around throughout the league. Is this a personnel decision, meaning that is this a locker room guy that, we got rid of DeAndre Hall as well? So is that maybe a backstory that we don't know about? Because, like you said,
I don't remember him playing a lot of teams
on the team in the preseason. So a big surprise, but this is going to kind of I'm going to go into this with my segment, my players, but just kind of like one of the overall running themes of the offseason is the depth of the Chicago Bears. But, give us your people. Let's hear it.
Number 2, Tyler Bray. I was not surprised at all. I thought they were going to cover 2. I'm pretty sure they did a YouTube video. Definitely did Bearoscopes on it. I thought they were cutting them. I thought they were going to have 2 quarterbacks on the rooster. And I guess here was my thinking for that was we can cut him, and then if he was not picked up before the beginning of the season, his contract would be non-guaranteed. So he's probably going to make it into the season, and he's your de facto 3rd quarterback because, people have their quarterbacks kind of figured out going to the season at this point, and it's not like he was a big name or a high draft pick or a recent guy. Like a Hackenberg, high profile. This is a guy who's been around for 4 or 5 years, non-practice squad eligible. So he's a veteran out there. Kind of like trying to think of USC quarterback Bears had last year. He was pretty
Matt Barkley.
No, next one.
Oh, Mark Sanchez.
Mark Sanchez type guy where, hey, he'll be around. Maybe they'll even have him around in the building, but if duty calls, they'll sign him in a hurry. So I feel like he's kind of not on the roster, but kind of he'll be hanging around. Because, he already knows the system. He's going to have to go somewhere else and learn the system all over again.
Yeah.
So, maybe they will wait on that. Did you have anything on Bray? I know I had a lot I wanted to say.
No, I just wanted to kind of keep thinking of how many USC quarterbacks I could come up with.
Keep going. Give me some more. Just kidding. Moving on. Grisou got cut. Personally, I'm not surprised. Sometimes they hit, sometimes they don't. It's a 3rd-round guy. I think the track record is pretty strong for Pace at this point, where I'm not super worried about it at all.
Just undersized is pretty much from the get-go, and he can never really overcome that. He had a great off-season program in regards to putting on mass and strength, and I think he put some good tape out there. He did play a lot, but you can see with Cush being healthy and Jordan Morgan, James Daniels, those guys healthy and playing well, that Grisou, they tried to trade him. But, I understand the pick, but like you said earlier, you're not going to land all these guys that are cut, like that Dorian Grant was on 2 other teams. You know, he was a 4th-round pick. So guys get cut, they bounce around. It happens.
And the writing is sort of on the wall when you're drafting another interior lineman in the draft in the 2nd round. They've been taking other cracks since they got him. So also injuries were not a thing that were working in his favor. He was
Cody and Daniels, both guys 2nd-round interior linemen drafted. And not to mention Jordan Morgan was drafted late the year before.
Did you say Whitehair?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, both him and James Adams were 2nd-round picks, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so, and Grisou was a 3rd-round pick the year before Whitehair.
Notable number 4 was Mizell. What are your thoughts on Mizell not making this team?
Yeah, I gotta, just kind of tying him in with Ryan Nall and the overall depth of the Chicago Bears now, between Jordan Howard, who's potentially a 1,200-yard runner this year, and Tariq Cohen, who could be a 500 rushing yards, 500 receiving yards, and Benny Cunningham's ability to block on 3rd down and his ability to catch out of the backfield and great scheme fit, really fast special teams, does it all from that 3rd running back position. So this is just another area in which the Bears have proficient talent in skilled position areas.
I agree. I mean, there was just too many dudes. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
And Mizell really felt like he was holding the position of Cohen this preseason, running all the routes and doing all the same situations as Cohen was going to be in, so watch out for that. But I think he's limited. I don't think he has the size and the speed. He doesn't have as much shake as Cohen, but they're similar in size. He can't.
Right.
His yards after contact aren't great. He can't shake guys off. So he's just a very incomplete player. He's a nice, neat little player. I like to have him around the practice squad for situationals if the situation doesn't arise. But I'm with you. I'm not surprised but happy to see him around if he makes the practice squad.
Yeah, I actually don't see him making the practice squad. I think
the depth.
Niall Davis is a guy that kind of compares more into that player, but even though I don't believe either one of our practice squad eligibles, I believe Mizell came here as he was released from maybe the Carolina Panthers or something.
I believe the Ravens.
Pretty sure about that. But kind of moving on with some roster cuts is just Timo Anderson, just real quick. The addition of Mac.
Return of Mac once again.
Timo was actually probably cut according to Nagy presser before the cuts were made.
Yeah.
We talked about Timo and having good tape out there, but good professional. But once again, the depth of the Bears showing these guys. They would have played last year. Definitely would have played 2 years ago. This year, no chance. And then Benny Fowler, who was they gave him some money in the offseason. But, one thing that all the talk shows talked about in the offseason was the Bears need to address their wide receiver position, and they did that. Two draft picks have came through. We're not talking about those guys as being cut. Javon Wims made the team, not Benny Fowler, who was a free agent. So just really good drafting there. And once again, Chicago Bears depth coming through.
Fowler, they gave him a ton of chances too, and he had some flashes, he had some drops, and I understand. But when you have those young guys that you actually drafted in the 7th round, like a Wims, you got to make those decisions, and you're more than likely than not you're going to go with your draft picks. And Timo, he's always around the ball. He reminds me of a guy who has to move at 100% effort to every single play. Now, that's great. I love effort guys, man. I give me 55 effort guys that have some talent too. But the problem is when you're running at 100% effort and then someone changes direction and you can't change direction with them, that's when you're a problem. The best pros are running at 80% because they're that talented and that fast, and they can make the adjustments, and that's why they're the superior athletes and your starters and your NFL players. So effort's great, but when you need your maximum effort to every single play, sometimes it's gonna. Thanks for the heart. You're gonna run into problems because you're not going to be able to make the adjustments. But I love the effort. I love that pick. I love the way the guy hits, but and I think he might even be like a stronger week in a 4-3 somewhere someday. I don't know. I think he'll get scooped up somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
And Anderson, I think he's athletic. I think he's a dude. He's an athletic guy, but I just don't feel like he is good enough to be on this roster. So if you don't mind, I would like to move on to the early practice squad additions at 8 o'clock Central Time on a Sunday night. We still don't know the full squad. So, number one, Ryan Nall. Before I go into my speech, do you want to say anything about Ryan Nall?
He was a guy, I will admit this, we have the infamous preseason spreadsheet that is, who's who of upcoming draft, who's going to be unrestricted free agent, and you nailed it. This is a guy that was on the spreadsheet. We didn't really know too much about him. You have to know a little bit about college football, know about this guy, although he just killed his stats, but just on Oregon State, kind of a bigger running back. Doesn't appear to be moving fast, although he had like a 69-yard run in the preseason. Your boy, Mr. Spreadsheet, Ryan Nall.
So I don't watch a lot of college football, I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot more of top 50 prospects in the draft and try to break down film and see what kind of guys are, because I hope they're going to be Bears one day. So I like to see what's out there and have an opinion on it. And then also once we have draft picks and sign unrestricted free agents, I definitely go out and I try to go find film at draft breakdown and highlights. You get less out of the highlights because that's, hey, here's what they're doing perfect every single time. You get to see the flaws too. And I hate to call it the flaws on guys that are, trying to make the league and point that stuff out, but I don't have much of an audience. It doesn't affect them. So anyway, I have 5 guys in a group chat that we talk about. So, but yeah, I saw Ryan Nall, and I'm like, man, this guy jumps off the tape. His size, 6'3", what is he, about 230, 235. He reminds me of Jordan Howard in so many ways when you're talking about running through the stretch run and running on a shotgun. Patience and vision, the ability to know where the hole's going to be and how to adjust with the cutback. Also in the open field, for that size, that dude has some shimmy and some shake. He is putting people on skates. He's juking them. And there are so many long runs in college where you're just going, how is this guy doing it? People are saying he's a fullback. This is a halfback. Although in that last preseason game, he was putting hats on kids as a fullback. And I was super impressed. But I think that he's faster than Jordan Howard. I've seen Jordan Howard so many times get caught from behind last year. In the last 2 years, where he doesn't get, I feel like there's a little bit more juice in Ryan Nall, and a little bit more effort when he gets to the second level to try to break those big plays off. And he catches a lot better. I saw him on film catching the ball repeatedly on Texas routes, on streaks out of the backfield, flats, everything. Ball sticking to his hands a lot more than Jordan Howard. Is he a better player than Jordan Howard? I mean, come on. It's hard to say at this point, but when we have Tariq Cohen and Ryan Nall, I was saying on Twitter, it's all Stott and
all Scott and Dunn
and Warwick Dunn. Yeah. I was thinking about
dude,
it, but
if we got that out of those two guys,
or
even like Howard and Cohen, if we got that kind of production, and that'd be sweet.
It would be. Anything
but
else
yeah,
on
just
Nall?
briefly, I did see a lot of Howard and Nall and Howard. Go ahead.
Cool. Next on the practice squad, notables, Gentry. What do you think?
Tommy Waddle 2.0.
Oh.
He probably gets this a million times, but that's the same thing. Same obviously physical characteristics and everything. But guys that we saw Gentry really flash in training camp of last year. Great preseason. He made the practice squad in 2017. And then when he came out onto the field and played later on in the year, and this could have been a product of the past regime's offense, but I didn't really see that separation and nor that catch a contested ball. But once again, he's a rookie learning, and this is a guy that really had a lot of production. in his college years. So maybe just some more experience and better coaching. He could have better technique and just that schematic of getting guys open, in which Nagy is able to do. Maybe Gentry does, especially in this scheme, have a future. But in all honesty, I don't want to see him on the field. I want everybody to be healthy, and we got a lot of talent but
yeah, you're right. We're loaded, and it's hard to find room for him. You'd like to make room for a guy who has the kind of effort. He has some of the traits. He has trouble separating, like you said. Has trouble getting off of the line. But I mean, there was flashes where you see the guy in the preseason running down and Trubisky hitting him on deep passes, and he is getting it. It's hard to say, but I'd like to keep this guy around just because I like the way he plays. I love his aggressiveness. If you want to hear some more about how I feel about him, check out my Bearscope. Look back in the videos, and I have a video called the Tanner Gentry Line.
Yeah.
What was that?
No, I was saying Bearscope, patent pending. But yeah, I mean, Tanner Gentry just a super hard worker, and he deserves, just from his the way he works, his work ethic, his ability to understand the offense. He does have some validity to be on this roster. But just two other cuts we'll talk about real quick. Michael Joseph, just a monster outside tackle. You see this guy played later in the preseason, but you might see him more as like a big cat guy that developed. Give him a year or two. You never know. Josh Woods, outside linebacker, who's unrestricted free agent, drafted or undrafted out of Maryland. He had some injury, missed half the season, but you can't have enough outside linebackers.
All right, well, that's as far as I had planned on the subject of roster cuts and practice squad. Jeff, would you like to plug yourself once more before we leave?
Yes. You can follow me on Twitter at +_shy. I'm Jeff, just a fan talking football.
And I am Robert at ShyBearsPlus on Twitter, ShyBearsPlus on Instagram. Just a guy, not an insider. I don't have any sources. Sources don't tell me nothing. All I know is I see stuff with my eyes, and I like to talk to the people, express my opinions.
Yo, Shefty, what up, dude? What up?
Hey, could you sign us off real quick, sir?
And that's all she wrote.